Mitch Rich Show, issues are highlighted. Dr. Michelle E. is changing lives, yeah. On the Mitch Rich Show.
Whatever women do, they must do twice as well as men to be taught half as good. Luckily, this is not difficult. Wise words of Charlotte Withon. Traditionally, a woman's role was confined to home and family. We were expected to be childbearers and homemakers. Some were not able to earn for themselves. Gone are those days. Women roles have evolved. Doors have been opened for us to thrive and shine. We can do it all. Besides managing household works, women were also engaging themselves in the service sector like banks, hospitals, airlines, schools, politics, and every other possible work field. On January 20th, 2021, we witnessed Kamala Harris being inaugurated as the first female vice president of the United States of America. This is evidence that women are progressing economically and socially. We are versatile in nature and capable of doing everything and anything. In today's episode, we will speaking with five dynamic women who have all broken barriers in politics. Apostle Regina Martin, Commissioner for the City of North Lauderdale, Nancy Matea, Commissioner Coral Springs, Jennifer Andrew, Council Member, City of Plantation, Hazel Rogers, Mayor, City of Lauderdale Lakes, and Tamara James, Mayor of Dania Beach. Thank you for joining me today on The Mitch Rich Show. I am Dr. Michelle E., your host. We'll be right back.
On the Mitch Rich Show.
Are you a kind, caring, and committed person? If you are, here at Linden Nursing Services, we're seeking home health aides, CNAs, LPNs, and RNs. Come and join our team of professional caregivers today. Not only are we the best in the business, but we deliver services of the highest quality. Give us a call today. We are waiting to hear from you. 561-434-5005 or visit us on our web at lindennursing.com. So welcome back to the Mitch Rich Show. I am Dr. Michelle E. And today we have five wonderful women who have broken some records, some barriers here in Broward County, Florida. And we're just excited about what they're bringing to the table. And so I'm going to start with Nancy because I'm seeing her right up in my face first. And Nancy is the Commissioner of the City of Coral Springs. Nancy Metire, welcome and congratulations. Your life has changed dramatically over the last month or so. Tell us a little bit about your new role and who is Nancy?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me this afternoon. I'm so honored to be amongst all these beautiful women here. I am happy to have made history this past election cycle. I am the Commissioner of Coral Springs, first Haitian American, first Black woman to hold this seat. A little bit about myself. I am an environmentalist by trade and really want to bring that perspective to the dais as South Florida combats climate change. We all know that we are ground zero for the impacts of climate change when we talk about sea level rise, gentrification, et cetera. So really want to bring that perspective when we address policy here in our city. Can't wait to continue having this conversation and hear from all the other panelists on this show as well.
Well, thank you so much, Commissioner. Yes, we're excited about what God is getting ready to do in the city of Coral Springs. Next, we'll be talking to none other than Apostle Dr. Commissioner Regina Martin Archat, who is the newest kid on the block, mighty woman of God in the city of North Lauderdale. She broke some barriers. Let's hear about it. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Hey, y'all. Well, I guess I'm going to bring a little spunk into this whole conversation today. I am just so excited and so elated to be with you all. And again, Michelle, we go way back. And so it's always an honor to be in your presence. And so, yes, I am the first African-American / Haitian American, newly elected a commissioner for the great city of North Lauderdale, District C. I'm also a mother of now 5, just recently got married. I also owned a school, Embassy Academy, and y'all, I have so much going on, so please bear with me a little bit here. Embassy Academy, that's a Christian private school from K through 12th grade. Also own several different businesses. One of my most passionate is Forerunner, where I empower women to get out of the box. I am the first also pastor in my family. I've been pastoring now for 10 years, February 11th, make it 10 years. And I cannot believe I've been pastoring now for 10 years. And I'm also an author. Again, there's so much going on, but I am, again, just so honored to be with you all. And I'm just so excited about this dialogue, this conversation today.
Well, thank you so much, Commissioner Regina. And we know great things are going to happen, and changes and shifts are going to happen in the city of North Lauderdale. Next up, we have Council Member Jennifer Andrew from the city of Plantation. Tell us, who is Jennifer?
Good afternoon, Evangelist Michelle. Thank you for having me as well. I can feel, even through the Zoom technology, the presence of all of these smart, beautiful women. I am Jennifer Andreu. I am the newest Plantation City Council member, also seat 3. There's something special about seat 3.
Oh, yeah.
And the first African American and Jamaican American for the city of Plantation. So we are truly breaking barriers and glass ceilings. Some of the initiatives that I proposed during my campaign and have already started implementing during the first 100 days is one thing I'm very excited about is the scholarship that I'm offering. We just launched that on February 1st, and that will run through April. And I am an educator by trade, 27 years as a teacher and educational leader. I currently am the assistant superintendent for Miami-Dade County Public Schools for the Office of Economic Opportunity. So I've moved away from teachers and children, which is my first love, to working with our minority women and small veteran businesses and giving them opportunities to work with the school system. We do about $500 million every year in procurement. So there are lots of opportunities, as well as our general obligation bond that we have for construction projects. So that's what I do by profession. And I'm really excited about this new state in my life as council member. I'm not a career politician, but as a resident in Plantation for almost 40 years, I decided that I wanted to be more involved and have a seat at the table and be involved in the decision-making happening in our city. So I'm also bringing changes in terms of the environment as well. I would like to create a sustainability board here in the city, and also eventually ban single-use plastic and styrofoam use. So those are a few of the initiatives that we want to implement in the city to move our city into what I call the next iteration of the 21st century.
Well, thank you so much, because I love hearing that, because I live in both cities. I live in Coral Springs, and I do own another home in Plantation. So, I'm in both cities. So it's exciting to see that, women are now in the forefront and doing what you do best. Commissioner Regina, what are some of the initiatives that you're undertaking in the city of North Lauderdale?
On entrepreneurship and empowering women. And of course, North Lauderdale reminds me of where I came from, a really small city in Fort Lauderdale, Melrose Park. And so because of the drugs and abuse and et cetera, oftentimes we kind of box our children in. So I'm really big on giving children hope for this next. And so we're definitely looking into the beautification of our city, because that means a whole lot when people can go outside and be proud of where they come from. Of course, North Lauderdale have predominantly Haitian Americans there. So there's a lot of different programs that right now we're looking forward into implementing and making sure that certain resources are accessible. And again, our youth, I'm really, really big on youth. I've just added 3 other little girls to our family, and my husband and I, so now it makes 5. And so we want to definitely empower the youth for the future. And so those are just some of the things that we are doing. And as of next week, we and the commission will be coming together and making sure that a lot of those initiatives will come together and make sure a lot of those plans are put in place for the future and the betterment of North Lauderdale.
Wow. Excited, excited, excited. So we'll be right back after the break. And after the break, we'll be talking to some veterans in politics, women who also have broken barriers in the person of Mayor Asa Rogers and Mayor Tamara James. We'll be right back.
On the Mitch Rich Show.
Welcome to Top Physical Therapy. Our patients' safety is a top priority. So we abide by the procedures of the pandemic. Here we provide occupational physical therapy and any trauma you face due to car accidents or any other physical issues. Come to Top Physical Therapy to receive treatment that is long overdue. We're located at 6730 North University Drive, Tamarack, Florida 33321, southeast corner of University and McNabb. Call today at 954-722-2212 to schedule your appointment. We've got you covered.
So welcome back. And now we heard from the commissioners and council members of the city of Coral Springs, the city of North Lauderdale, and the city of Plantation. And now we're gonna take it home to Mayor Tamara James, who is a double-time mayor. She's gonna tell us a little bit about who she is from the WNBA and what it is that has set her apart in the city of Dania Beach. Mayor Tamara James.
Good morning, everyone. I am Tamara James. I am a former professional women's basketball player. I played professionally for about 10 years. Born and raised in the city of Dania Beach, no political experience. I've had a nonprofit in this city since 2006. And when I retired from playing basketball, I decided that I wanted to continue to serve an underserved area for sure, but our entire city, and just have a seat at the table. There were a lot of influences that helped me to decide to run because I had a lot of support. And I am forever grateful for people that came before me, like Bobby H. Grace and Walter Duke, who really pushed me into being here. And then one thing I can say is, running that election in 2016 and getting a seat at the table as the mayor, because in Dania, you don't run for a specific seat. The highest vote getter becomes your mayor. And so going from basketball to trying to help people understand that I'm more than just a basketball player and prove who I am, and I gained their support, it made me know that they wanted a shift and a change, and I was a part of that change. And I'm so forever grateful for Mayor Rogers. She was one of the first people that reached out to me, never met me before, but she took the time to reach out to those who come after her, who she's paved the way for. And that's the type of camaraderie, the type of sistership that we all need. We all need an open line of communication in case we need something. And just those strangers reaching out to me and welcoming me and making themselves available to me really gave me the encouragement that I needed. I decided to rerun for election again in 2020, and I broke the record. So in 2016, I received the highest amount of votes in the history of Dania Beach, and in 2020, I broke that record. That just shows me that Regardless of who you're going to meet, the most important people that you're going to serve are your residents. Those are the
Right.
people who are going to vote for you, not the developers, not going to the Broward League of Cities. Those relationships are important, but nothing is more important than the service that you provide to your residents. And it shows up in elections because people will vote you out if you do not,
Right.
serve them with the purpose that they feel their level of service is adequate. So I'm very grateful to be here. For me, it was about inducing change and making the entire city come together and not just certain portions and pieces. We are still breaking barriers as young women. I keep hearing first. In 2021, we continue to hear we are the first. And, as sad as that is, it's very empowering in the same breath. This past election cycle, doing early voting at the Hollywood Library, everyone had their photos on their yard signs that were stuck in the ground. And I saw so many African American or Black people who are running for office. It made me cry because at one point in time, we would be lynched for this. At
Right.
one point in time, we didn't have a voice. And so unapologetically putting your face on it, not just your name, but to be
Right.
bold enough to put your face on it, say, I want to serve you, and to have Republicans, Democrats, nonpartisan, all support you to be here. I congratulate you. It is a journey that is hard, but the reward is well worth it. Being able to change the lives of the generations to come after you. When we talk about sea level rise and climate change, I tend to try to make decisions for 50 years down the road, not just for the next election. And a lot of times your residents aren't going to understand the decisions that you make, but that is our jobs to interface with our residents and to educate them because they really don't understand how politics work. I didn't understand how politics work when I first was elected. It was like drinking water from a fire hydrant. It was all coming in at once and you just have to catch what you can. But I'm a strong believer in God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the call. So thank you all for taking that call. I'm always available if you all need any advice. I don't consider myself a veteran. Mayor Rogers is the veteran. I'm still learning every day about my temperament, about what battles to fight, about your emotions, your having your intelligence go over your emotions, because if you lead with your emotions, you'll lose every time, and just about how to be effective. I try to have things on my agenda every single time we meet for discussion and possible action, so you can get the consensus and push forward, just to keep your name out there, just so residents can see that you're continuing to bring initiatives to your city. That is very, very, very important, to have ordinances and resolutions that have teeth. We have banned straws, but we only could ban single-use plastics and styrofoam on city property because there is a federal or state legislature that prevents us from being able to do certain things for our environment. So we're finding creative ways to continue to serve everyone in our cities and make the city of Dania Beach to be a place where everyone, regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, religion, can thrive in our city. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much. And now we are moving on quickly to none other than the veteran herself. And yes, everybody's saying thank you to her, because I remember when I came to this country 20 years ago, and she's like 21 anyways, but she just met me with open arms. At that time I was in the banking industry, and she just opened up as a realtor and just showed me the ropes. And it was just, she's just always there for everyone. 25 years in politics, 25 years, 12 years as the commissioner in the city of Lauderdale Lakes, and 8 years as a state representative, and now back to being mayor of the city of Lauderdale Lakes. None other than my sister, my friend, Mayor Hazel Rogers. Tell us a little bit about what it is that these cities like that back of your hand. What advice can we give to these women who have broken these barriers?
Well, I can share with you some of my experiences, but first let me say, Sister Michelle, thank you. This is awesome. I too am proud of you and what you're doing. You're also breaking barriers, okay? And to my colleagues, when I looked at the ballots and saw the faces, I'm saying, my God, what a difference than when I ran. Okay, that was 1995 when I was bold enough, but I had support. Just know that there were people behind me. There was this gentleman by the name of Willie Webb, and I'll always give him credit for walking me around to the NAACP, introducing me to the Urban League, just being there. And then I also made sure he understood what our culture was about. So I was taking him to Miami when we were playing netball and teaching him about some of the sports that women like. All right, Tamara, we know you're a basketball player, but us ladies were playing netball without a backboard. And I challenge you one day, okay? So we're going to do our thing. So don't tell me, bring it on.
You got it.
Right? But, it was different then because I ran first in 1995 and lost by 2 votes. So no one knew about hanging Chad and dimpled Chad. The fact that being the first time running for office for the first time, a lot of folks who have never dared to even go to the polls, had no interest in government at the time, came out to vote because I guess they saw something in me that your voters saw in you. And that's why we're all here. So losing by 2 votes in 1996, there was another opportunity and I took it. Yes, I cried the first year and I took it this time because I just felt at the time I could do better than what was being done on my commission. I was already attending commission meetings. I was already serving on the Parks Board and remembering when I ran the first time, they took me off the board, did not put me back on the board. When I got elected, like you, some of you, I was the first Black person to win a race, not the first Black to serve, because others were getting on these commission by appointments. But I ran and got elected. But I had 2 other elected officials, Black male, Josephus Egliston and Bill Clark, and I put their names in the record because they were first. However they got there, they were first and they served well. But I hear about the temperament or temper, and we have to put that aside tomorrow. I hear you. But when I got elected, I had to do something different and crazy because I was the youngest member on the commission, only woman on my commission. And it was not easy with the guys. They just knew everything. They wanted to have meetings in the mornings. And I tell them I was a banker. I'm at work. Thank God the bank was right at 21st Avenue in Oakland Park, So I could run there and run back to City Hall. And I had an awesome young lady that looks like me. And I always said she was the only person on the air condition that looked like me. We play that joke with each other, right? You got what I just said, right? So whenever things were going crazy, I would get a call. You need to come here. I said, oh my God, I can't do this. And when I ran there and I walked in, they were scheduling a meeting. You can't schedule a meeting, but the law said you can post it. So you're now posting and you're now calling a meeting. And so we had to change that. My commission was totally different. The commissioners were also administrators. So I'm also the policymaker and the implementer. So I was in charge of 3 departments, the Public Works Department, the Recreation Department, and administration. And I learned a lot from being on the committees because I learned immediately everything about the city. So I give God thanks for creating those opportunities that I did not consider a blessing at that time because I get to learn quickly about things that we needed and how to do things in the We Care city of Lauderdale Lakes. It has been challenging, but first thing I did, I said, we need to change the form of government that we have to a manager, city commission form of government. And we did that. And the next thing I knew we had to do, the city manager had to be experienced and someone we can relate to. So the city had the first African-American city manager in Broward County. And we achieved that for the city of Lauderdale Lakes. And things started to change when you have strong leadership. You've garnered the respect of your colleagues, and it's not easy. Smiling in your face does not always mean they're pleased that we're where we are and in the positions that we hold, but you're not only concerned about the voters, the people that put you there. And as was previously said, you have to work for the people. Whatever you committed to doing when you were on the campaign trail, you have to make sure you achieve those goals. If I cannot leave you with anything else, if you are committed to certain issues, focus on it. It might be challenging to get it through the first time around, but you can't give up because those are the reasons why you were elected and so strongly to represent cities. And it's going to be challenging in plantation. All right. But just hang in there, Miss Jennifer. Plantation has always been challenging for most that ran before you. All right. So congratulations to everyone. Miss Regina, you have a city, just understand your city and you represent everyone. And as was stated, yes, whether or not they're Republicans or Democrats or independent, Black, white, Jewish, my city has changed over the years because I was still the first Black on that commission and everyone else was doing things that they knew how to do way back when. Things have changed. Technology has changed. Look at what we're doing, how we are communicating today. I'm still learning how to get on a Zoom and do all the stuff that you younger folks now to do. And yes, when you think of climate change, it's not just communities that's on the ocean. It impacts us because all that water got to run through all of our cities, through our canals, and connect to the ocean. So it is critically important when we speak to those issues also because it affects our city. And of course, homelessness. I don't know if you see it throughout your communities. It's not just a Broward County issue. It is affecting all of us. So we need to find a way of working through some of those issues. Education is the key. And although we are not school board members, but we have to know these are our residents. And if anything impacts your residents, you can have a voice also. So you'll hear me talking about redistricting and planting that right here on this forum. So again, thank you, Ms. Michelle. Watch out for redistricting, whether or not your city as districts or whether or not the county does have districts, so they will be redrawing boundaries. And that is done after the census count every 10 years. So redistricting at the county, redistricting at the state level will impact you. Our boundaries are drawn to take us out and divide our communities. You have to watch out for that also. But we'll be having those conversations and my door is always open. I don't have to be calling you every day. Just know that if you call me, I will give you the best answer and you're going to help to make that choice. You're not going to hear me tell you, okay, this is the way to go. I'm giving you pros and cons and have you decide, but I'm always here for you. Looking forward to working with each and every one. Thank you.
On the Mitch Rich Show.
Well, welcome back to the Mitch Show. And you heard from these mighty women who have broken some barriers in politics here in Broward County. And at this time, I'm going to ask Commissioner Nancy to just tell us a little bit about what's on our heart as we close.
Yes. Again, thank you all for being an inspiration to many Black and Brown girls in your cities and throughout Broward County. This moment is surreal. It is a moment that I am proud of. Although many of us are the first, I hope we're not the last. We are planting our legacies now, planting a seed, and can't wait to see what grows from this. I am so excited to continue serving my community through economic growth, public safety, and environmental sustainability. And I can't wait to see what we all can accomplish together. Again, thank you so much, Ms. Michelle, for having me.
Awesome. Commissioner Regina Martin Archat.
Thank you again, Michelle, for having me. And again, I was just so inspired and motivated to sit here and take it all in. I'm just like Commissioner Nancy said, it's just such a surreal moment. And it's such a prophetic moment. It really is. And just like in the book of Esther, and just like in the book of chapter 4:14 says that we are being raised for such a time as this. I believe that God has something peculiar, something wonderful. And like Nancy also stated, that this is a legacy and it is beyond us. And so to hear Mayor Rogers, her testimony just really just inspired me. And I know that we will not be the last. For the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And so y'all get ready, because I believe we're just blazing the trail for so much more to come in these next decades. And again, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for the work that you're doing and have started to do and will continue to do in the city of North Lauderdale, and in my little city over there in Plantation that I love so much. That's where I bought my first home, none other than council member Jennifer.
Thank you again, Evangelist Michelle. So there's an African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I think this just exemplifies that when we all work together, how far we can go. And as someone else said, we are just blazing the trail for the next generation of women that will come behind us. So I'm excited. I needed this today. His timing is perfect. It's been a rough week and I needed this. Thank you, ladies, for just uplifting me and sowing seeds so that I can continue to do this work.
Awesome. Well, together we will do this. Mayor James.
Yes, I strongly believe. I strongly believe in collaboration over competition. And growing up, and I see all of us are kind of a darker hue. I dealt with a lot of colorism. I dealt with a lot of things in my adolescent years when I was in elementary and middle school. And a lot of times it came from our own people. It didn't even come from white people or Spanish people. It came from Black people. And just us educating and reaching back and showing that love that we probably weren't shown as children. So we didn't really know how to treat each other. But those things, it means everything. And I say that because even now you have certain commissioners that may be holding grudges from 30, 40 years ago. The things that I hear, the stories that I hear from older commissioners, I'm just like, how can you still be angry? And so I just encourage everyone to lead with their heart and lead with God's love. It is a daily struggle for me. I'm very unapologetic. If someone needs to be checked, I am the person. I am not a just sit back and let things happen. I say exactly what's on my mind, but learning how to say those things and learning how to get your point across, I think is key. I recently just published a book called The Skin I'm In, and it kind of talks about my struggles with colorism as I was growing up. I urge you all to take a gander and a look at it. But other than that, my door is completely open. A lot of times we are all struggling and barely above water, and it can be so overwhelming, and we're just trying to breathe. But understand that things that we're going through, the generations to come after us won't have to go through that. I can't imagine serving when Bobby H. Grace was the first female mayor here, and she served with a mayor at that time who had a hanging house in Dania Beach. So I come from a very racist city that has a lot of racist roots and ties, but the tide is turning, times are changing. And I just want you all to stay encouraged because a lot of things last, but trouble don't last always. And we are going to a place where we are going to continue to see more and more people that look like us at the table. So please take advantage of the time that you have because it will go like this. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. That smile though, oh my God. I gotta come see you in the city of Dania Beach soon. Mayor Rogers, we are closing right this minute, and so you have just a few seconds to just say something.
My colleagues have said it all. I will leave you with this. Let the work that you do speaks for you. I thank you, Michelle. Ladies, I'm still here and available whenever you call. I think that's why God placed me on this earth. He did not give me a child, so he gave me a community. And I do my best and will continue to do my best. As fierce as Tamara James is.
Oh, that's a good note for us to end. Oh, so she's the fierce one. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best unity, strength. And so I'm just excited about what's going to happen in each of the cities that were represented today. And for the cities that were not represented, I know that you all will definitely come together and make this happen for the best of the residents in all the cities in Broward County. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one.
On the Mix Show.
Women boldly and bravely continue to break barriers from running companies to running countries. A line from young and talented Amanda Gorman's poetry says, "So just call this tide brave hurry. I am her, you too can be her." Thank you for sharing with us today on The Mitchell Show. Join us on our next episode as we continue to highlight issues and change lives. Our YouTube channel is GetvisionedTV official. Our IG is We Are GetvisionedTV. Have a blessed one.